What is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel for another album review. I'm your boy Nasim the Dream. If you're new to the channel, go right on ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell as well to always keep notified on my newest content. And today, I will be reviewing the new Big Thief record, Dragon New War Mountain, I Believe in You. Here we have the fifth full-length album for Brooklyn, New York indie rock folk outfit, Big Thief. Following this, we were greeted with a double feature of two albums in 2019 with UFOF and Two Hands, which array some of the band's best indie folk traits into the tracks on both of these records. Fast forward to 2020, we're then greeted with lovely double records from frontwoman of Big Thief, Adrian Lanker, songs and instrumentals, with also some solo releases from fellow members of the group, Buck Meek and James Gavshenia. And now we are giving a very lengthy record marking just about an hour 20 minutes with 20 tracks on the list. Off its appearance can be pretty intimidating. It's not exactly common to generate over an hour of consistently well written songs. But given with the sneak peeks for this as teasers, given a good bite of the record with the singles that came out with this, there was definitely some high hopes from my end personally in opening up something next level for the band. With the intro on the track Change, it just brings me back to that blissful and breathtaking moment entering the past records that I just mentioned right before this. There's a lot of freestyle guitar playing and overall experimentation with the strings on here as well, with the plucks on here demonstrated the way they are on the song Time Escaping. There's just this colossal of instrumental just darting right into the center of the room underneath Adrian's soft singing without warning. For the track Spud Infinity, I just really love what the band really does when bringing that authentic feeling when it comes to traditional bluegrass music and traditional folk music onto the instrumentation on here. The catchy instrument playing and also with the very catchy chorus on here, you just really can't take away from it. What's it gonna take? With also to mention on the track the rejuvenating fiddles and drum rolls that also really caught my attention. I'm really just a sucker for the perfect use of the instrumentals for the given genre. Like, come on, these harmonicas, banjos, and fiddles are just a ride, bro. Boing, 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 boing. I'm really just digging the authenticity and the cultural approach when bringing on some country aesthetics into the folk music. I mean, come on. To say they're not perfecting the sound is just nonsense. They were built for this. Little Thing spins the wheel into some rock incorporations with a slight bit of shoegaze. The noisy change has the spirit of what most 90s rock really resembled in its time, with these guitars, claps, and tambourines. It's progressing more and more until its full design. With Thin Flower of Blood demonstrating some shoegaze influences as well on here, really exhaling more of the distant dreamy vocals onto the mix. Up to the half point, it becomes more noticeable in how the band really creates this whole scene, morphing closer and closer into a new influence with a subtle change into the mix. Like with these drum machines that are now incorporated into the record now with the songs Blurred View and Wake Me Up to Drive. I also really appreciated the accordion pieces onto the song Wake Me Up to Drive as well. I can also appreciate narratively what the album really does. It's not typical when it comes to a full concept album. It's more so a big sort of just a bunch of thoughts and a bunch of different things. Like there's songs that example love, and then with this song in particular, it really just goes off something basic of just traveling onto the road and just making ways end. Simiularion Swarm being my favorite song on the track, what just spews the most potency indie folk rock most suited to my interests. Dried Roses dives deeper into the southern roots with a lot of the attention centering around the instrumental playing. For a record this lengthy, it just creates such a great attempt of incorporating a lot of variants of these folk jams and a lot of versatility from the band as well. The track No Reason also spotlights a wonderful point into the record as well. My favorite part comes from these flutes through the breeze of an instrumental. They really do a great job of showcasing each piece of instrumental on all of the tracks. You know, I will say the band follows a lot of the same blueprint when it comes to what really comes out with where they place the intros, the verses, the solos, etc. But by no means does it tarnish what the album tries to accomplish either way. The variants on here are just so distinct. Of course, this record is not going to keep my 100% interest. There's always going to be some points when it comes to a record this long and this lengthy that there's going to be some small bumps. But the way the band just shifts these sounds very softly and touches the tones up very, very gently, I can really appreciate where the band approaches each song and how they really want to incorporate the creativity in the various amounts of playing styles with the instruments, wide range of instruments that they use on here. When this album goes the distance and finally reaches the finish line, really observing to see where the cracks are, where the faults are in there, There's hardly any dents or bruises to be spotted. For a record that really just feels like a total jam sesh, of course that's also portrayed onto the album art, it just held its way so well through an hour and 20 minutes of playthrough of creative, introspective, beautiful, enchanting folk playing. To the wide selection and variety of these 20 tracks, there is just a very distinct productive quality all across each of these tracks. This is a very impressive thing to hear from a band that really goes this far of a risk of making a record so long. It's just a shot in the dark for most artists, but it's engaged with precision. Everything that comes to indie music, folk music, rock music, and just alternative takes and its variants, this is greatly done. The way it's executed so carefully, it builds on with these wonderful moments that are easygoing, joyful, relaxing, or mind-tingling. It's easy at this point to truly credit Big Thief for what their talents possess and just how far they come into their careers and what they made and achieved. There's no question that the record is not worth playing. There's just so much delicacy, so much precious production choices, not even minding the small bumps that you really experience through the trip. As an overall experience, this was wonderful. I'm gonna give Big Thief's Dragon New Warm Mountain, I Believe in You, an 86%. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go ahead and like, share, and comment down below. And if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Down in the description, you'll see my separate tracklist ratings for the album, more videos, and also the links on my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on the daily. And I'm gonna catch you in the next one.